Before we get Hoppe Hour going, I want to remind you about my sponsor, Simply Prepaid of T-Mobile and Gulfport, as they will give you a free Android when you switch from Sprint, Verizon, or AT&T. They also have on-site repairs, the fastest service at cheap prices. If you go there and tell them that Ryan Hoppe sent you, they will give you a badass deal. They are at 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South. That is 5014 Gulfport Boulevard South in Gulfport. Call them at 727-331-1934. That is 727-331-1934. All right, time for the show.
This should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. Preferably in a residential area.
The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. Voted as best local podcast in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. You're listening to Hoppe Hour.
Let's see how these levels look. What's up, Chris Gorges?
Pretty good. I mean, yes. Hi.
Let's see how it looks. How's it look, Tiffany?
It looks awesome. How does it look to you?
Looks very sexy. You guys ready to get this going?
Ready to get it going.
What up? What is happening? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, and I'm a big fan of promoting the local comedy scene in Tampa Bay, so I have two of the funniest comedians. There are a ton in this area, but these are some of the comedians you need to check out. Live on Hoppe Hour is comedian Tiffany Barbee and Chris Gorges. What's up, guys?
What's up, Ryan?
What's up, Brian? How are you?
Good. So you guys are a team, right? You guys work together?
Yes.
Yes, we travel around the states. We've been to a bunch of different states doing comedy shows. And, yep, we were just in Naples. We were in Melbourne. We're everywhere. I don't even know where we've been.
Yeah, we have Pittsburgh. Where else were we at?
Indianapolis.
Do you guys ever get sick of each other?
What's that?
Do you guys ever get sick of each other?
No, this is the perfect working relationship because Tiffany is like a guy, but she's a girl.
Yeah.
So she's cool in the car for 12 hours, and you can actually fart next to her, and she doesn't get freaked out. It's not a big deal.
It's awesome.
She's a fifth-degree black belt. She can handle anything. So if I get scared, I know that Tiffany will take care of business. So it's perfect. I don't think only when you freak out in traffic do I get a little annoyed. But
I get uncomfortable with certain, like, downtown parking situations. Remember when we had to go to, like, downtown St. Pete? I was like, oh, God, I don't do good with downtown parking. But
when she says downtown parking situation, she means parallel parking. That's what she means.
Oh, I'm the worst at that. I can't do that for anything. I hate having to park in a downtown city. Like, I'll park for $10 in the parking garage just to not have to deal with the anxiety of trying to parallel park. I have no coordination with that.
oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, I totally panicked. I shut down. Remember, I shut down. I didn't talk for like a half an hour. Like, it took me a half an hour to, like, recover from the last big parking
Well, did
like,
you almost
debacle.
hit a car? What happened? Why did you shut down?
I couldn't find a parking spot. There was no parking spots. And then I circled, and he wasn't really helping at all. Like, he was kind of like, just park somewhere.
Come
and
on,
I was like,
Chris.
And I was like, I don't know, you're a guy. Should we get out? Should we switch seats? What should we do? And
the only way I can help would have been to have you get out and have me get in the driver's seat and show, because this, let me tell you something. This is something that you should have learned on the test, in the book. It tells you how to parallel park, and you acted like, what? What's parallel parking? You had no idea.
No. In Florida, they don't make you parallel park. Now, when I lived in England and I did the driver test over there, we had to do it, but I was on the opposite side of the car on the opposite side of the road, so I can't do it here. I cannot apply that knowledge here.
What's it like driving on the opposite side? How different is it?
It's not. You just have to remember. There's a few times where I accidentally drove on the other side of the road, but like just on
Here
small
in
streets.
America?
Well, yeah. When I first moved back here,
That's
again,
kind of a big deal, Tiffany. That's just like, I was on the other side of the road. No big deal. Oops.
Just got back from England. Sorry.
I've only done that. I did that a couple times over there and a couple times over here, just when I first moved back. Oh my God, you don't know how many times I actually got in the car on the wrong side. Like, I got in the car over there and over here when I first moved back. I got in the passenger side and I sat down. I was like, where's the steering wheel? And then I realized, oops.
I feel like it'd be weird to drive on the right side. I think it's just because we're not used to it. It's just... seems different.
You just have to remember that your shoulder is what the median's going to be by. Like that thing, it's called a median in the middle, right?
In the middle?
Yeah, the middle thing.
That's a median.
Okay. So you just got to make sure your shoulder's by that.
That was on the test, too. I don't know if you know that. What the median is. That's part of the
Dude,
test.
our tests were easy. Our tests were just don't crash into the cones and know that a red light is when you don't drive. Like, we had the easiest tests ever.
Yeah.
And don't park if there's not like a straight-in parking spot. Just keep going.
They did not teach us how to park at all.
No, not in Florida.
Wait, but wait a second. Did you guys take driving?
I'm from Illinois.
Okay, you're from Illinois. But when you're in high school, because I went to high school here. I'm from up north. But we had driver's ed. Did you not take driver's ed?
I did not take driver's ed, but I did because I was in like a magnet program.
Yeah.
And I was too smart to do such things as
look
take
at
driver's
you.
ed. I did what?
Oh, look at you, fancy
No.
pants. Too smart.
I also did not have to take E. PE.
Too smart to take driver's ed, or to ever like wrap her head around the concept of parallel parking. Like, I'm too smart to know how to slide a car in sideways. It's very simple, by the way. You pull up to the car that's in front of the empty space, and then you pull right up next to it, and then you just turn your car a little bit, and you aim the center of the back of your car with the center of the one behind, and you pull it in, and
in
then
all
cut the wheels.
fairness, it's easy because you know how to do it and you learned in driver school. Us millennials didn't learn that.
All right. Oh, well, I wish I was a millennial, but I'm not.
You look like you're one. You should be flattered.
I appreciate that. I am not. I'm actually 32, which is.
I thought you were 25. I'm not even lying.
Oh my God, I love him.
But
No
I am
wonder he
kinda
has a
flirting with
girlfriend. Oh, thank you. How are you?
Doing
How you
good.
doing? Come here often, Ryan.
Hell yeah, I'm here every day.
That's hot.
I love how you talk into the microphone. It's very sensual.
Yeah, I'm giving it all my like attention and focus right now. Like I'm giving it 110% here.
How often do guys hit on you after shows? Like, is it ridiculous?
Oh, that's the best question like ever right now
Because
because
they like boost your ego?
after every show, no, it doesn't. It's I'm finding it amusing at this point because
It's been like a locust swarm for the past like 5 weeks.
Dry spell?
No.
Like all over. Guys coming out of it's insane.
every single show, someone, and they don't, a lot of times, like, people that are in the audience, they're not brave enough to ask me out at the show. What happens is, and I always know, and I knew the guy last night, this is what he was going to do. I can tell when they're going to do it. They'll message me that night, like, and they're like, oh, I saw you at the show. Here's my phone number.
That's sexy. Jesus.
I had one guy go on Instagram, take a picture of himself and say, hey, I was at your show last weekend. I'm going to be in your area. We should meet up. And usually bookers hit on me a lot. Every booker is like in love with me, and they're like all 60-year-old men. It's definitely an experience, isn't it,
Do you
Chris?
think some comics ever get ahead by giving head, maybe?
No, I
Do you
don't.
get what I
no,
did
no.
there? Do you get it?
It was hilarious. You should be a comedian. But no, see, you can't do that. I have never ever done that. And listen, because once you do that, the motivation's gone. They don't need to hire you because you've already done what they wanted.
Yeah.
You leave them wanting more, and you talk to them, you flirt a little bit or whatever, and they'll think, ooh, maybe if I just do this one more thing, she will work. So I think as a girl, I think I do kind of get a little extra work in the hopes that I will do something.
But I feel like once you do that, if it's sex or oral sex, then they're done. They're like, whatever, I've already hooked up with her. Why should I give her a gig? I feel like it doesn't help you in the end. Unless you end up being their side chick, as the cool kids say nowadays, then it's different. So maybe you should be a side chick and then you'll be the next Amy Schumer.
No, I think I'm gonna just keep them wanting more, and because with me, once I do that, they get addicted. And no, I'm kidding.
Oh wow, you're so good at that. You're addicting. They can't get enough of Tiffany Barbee.
Okay, that's terrible. To be honest, I have not had a boyfriend in like years, so why
are you on a dry
big
spell?
talk. I'm not on a dry spell. I just I'm very busy with my stand-up comedy. I'm focused on it. I'm trying to get me and Chris out there. Like, I'm the one that kind of like gets us booked. Like, you get some gigs, but I'm the one that emails all the bookers, and I'm focused on that. And I find if I get a boyfriend or something like that, it will distract me. I need to get the career going for at least a couple years.
You can definitely find a guy who would be cool with you being a comic. Trust me, there is nothing sexier than a good-looking girl who is funny. Trust me, get on Tinder. I know it's cliche. That's how I met my girl. Trust me.
Tinder? I don't know. I don't like to put apps on my phone. Like, I'm an old lady. I'm like, do I have to add an app? What is that? But
man, you are kind of old.
I just feel like I feel like a lot of guys don't like funny girls. I really feel like that's kind of a turnoff for a lot of guys.
Guys don't like girls who think they're sport experts. Like, this is why Tom Brady's better than Peyton Manning. It's like, shut your mouth. You don't know anything. And I'm not even being sexist. Most of the time, they're like babbling about nothing.
Yeah, no, I think it's more of an issue with girls that are funny are typically very smart girls. And I think guys are afraid of smart girls. So I think the idea of a funny girl is very attractive to most guys. But then when they actually have to converse with them intellectually, they know, okay, I can't.
And there's a new movement in 2016, which I'm fine with, but a lot of these female comics are trying to be feminist, and I think that turns off a lot of guys.
Yeah, my comedy is not like that at all. I don't want to say too much on this topic, but I am definitely not a feminist. I'll tell you that.
Good.
I'm kind of like, hey, I will stay barefoot in the kitchen, whatever,
I'm kind of scared of ripping on feminists just because I feel like they have more, let's say, power than me, but I despise feminists. I think they're self-entitled attention people. I kept it clean there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like feminists do it more for the attention than for the rights at times. It's like an ego trip. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. And I'm so anti feminine. Like if I go to a car dealership and a woman comes up to try to sell me a car, I'm like, no, can I have a guy?
You
like
are
with
a
everything. Yeah, I'm kind of like if I have a doctor, I'm like, oh, where's the guy one? Like everything's like where's unless it's like a nurse, then I'm like, where's the girl? Like this is weird. So like I like to keep everyone in their roles.
Yeah, Tiffany and my wife, because we have a podcast that we're all on called The Double Special Show. My wife is a producer, and we've talked about this on the podcast. Crystal and Tiffany do not want Hillary Clinton to be anywhere near the White House. And not because they don't like her. She's a woman. And they're like, a woman shouldn't do it.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, wow, that's awful. Like I thought we were progressive. And they're like, no.
It's not even that she's a woman. She's a complete and utter see you next Tuesday. We do not need her in this office. They're all imbeciles, but her and Ted Cruz are the ones I despise the most.
Well, Ted Cruz just creeps me out, but just the way he looks. I feel like he has bodies in a van somewhere.
It's not even just that, but there's all these outtakes of him trying to force his kids to love him. Like there's one that there's one from TMZ of him getting out of a limo and his kid's right next to him, and he's like, "Here, Kim, give me a kiss real quick." She's like, "No, Dad." She goes back on her phone. He's like, "Kim, give me a kiss." Getting all mad, and she kisses him on the cheek, and he looks right at the camera like, "Oh crap, this is going viral."
Yeah, no, and it's what, and I on that level I can sympathize with Cruz, because when you're a dad, you do want to give your kids affection. Once they get past a certain age, you're like, you know what? Don't touch me. Don't look at me. I don't know you. I'm not related to you. They don't have anything to do. My kid's 7. He's already like, don't touch me.
Boy, you're not trying to impress anybody. He's trying to be a phony piece of shit.
Right, that's true, but he's better than Trump, who's like saying he would bang his daughter if it was not his daughter.
He didn't say that, did he?
Yeah, no, there's at least...
Yeah, he did. He said, what he said was, if this girl wasn't my daughter, I wouldn't mind dating her, is what he said about his own daughter. Like saying that she's gorgeous. He couldn't just say, you're gorgeous.
That's worse than the...
it's awful.
Than the whole thing on the border.
Yeah,
that's worse than the border thing or what he said about Muslims. Not really, but that's up there. That's
creepiest
creepy.
thing he's ever said, and I felt so bad for his daughter. I was like, holy Christ, are you serious right now? Like, I know what he was trying to say. He was trying to say, I got a beautiful daughter, but his messed up brain couldn't get those words out. So he put in, yeah, she's got a nice ass. Like, no, don't say that. No, don't say that she's got a nice ass.
That is the weirdest thing I think he's ever said. Not the worst thing he's ever said, because saying that they can't be here in America, Muslims, that's pretty bad. But saying that your kid is hot, that's up there, Tiffany. Like, if your dad were to do that, how would you react?
That would be very creepy. My dad would not do that. My uncle would do that, but my dad would not do that.
Uncle would. Everybody's got that uncle in life, though. Just be like, oh, Tiffany's gorgeous.
Just for clarification, I don't have that uncle. That's never happened to me. All right?
You've never had that uncle?
Never had an uncle say anything to me, not an auntie. Nobody in my family's ever said, you know what? We should go out sometime. That's never happened to me.
What about that guy that lived down the block, though?
No, I've never had. There was only one time that I can remember when I was a teenager. And it was not a family member, and I can't believe I'm telling you this, but me and my buddy were walking. I think we were like 11 years old, and this car kept passing her. It's like 8 o'clock at night. It's dusk now, that we're on our way home.
Yeah.
This is before cell phones. This is how old I am, right? No, we didn't have cell phones, so we couldn't call anybody to go, hey, something weird's happened. So this guy passes like 2 or 3 times, and then the last time he just slows down. He's like, hey, buddy, hey, like that. We're like, holy crap. Like, I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't know if that's a come on or what that is. Just, hey, buddy, hey. And we freaked out. He went down around the block, turned around. We jumped in some bushes and hid in those bushes for like an hour.
Dude, you could have been the next kid on a milk carton.
You could have been the next kid in the back of Cruz's van. I think that was Ted Cruz.
That was Ted Cruz in his 20s.
That's so funny because remember I said the same thing happened to me. I had some guy, I was walking through Morningside, which is like a neighborhood. This is back when I was like 13, before cell phones. And this guy kept circling around too. And then the last time he circled around, he showed me his willy. He showed me his jingle jangles. And like it was like
I've
fully
never heard
erect.
a dick be referred to as the jingle jangles. That's a new one.
Are we allowed to say dick? I didn't know that.
Dick,
like I was
cock, say whatever you want.
oh, good grief.
Chris just made a wide turn. No, but I mean, I've never heard jingle jangles. I love that.
I just invented that actually.
That's amazing.
The jingle jangles. Yeah, he showed me those, and then I ran. I was in my cheerleading outfit too, because I was like co-captain of the cheerleading squad, and I freaking ran
Ooh, look at you,
all the way
princess.
home. Oh, I hated being co-captain of the cheerleading squad. My mom, that was one of her like I'm living vicariously through my daughter periods of my life. It was so
How'd you hate it? What was wrong with it?
well because I had to like be by cheerleaders who are like the worst people.
And for her, everything that preceded it, she was a pageant kid. Her mom put her in pageants. I mean, it was like psycho mom.
I feel like you're very humble.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because
Are you
most
joking?
Because most girls would love the attention of being
No.
co-captain or in a pageant. You're
No.
like, whatever, mom.
Well, I was always like a tomboy, and you know, I'm a martial artist. I started when I was 6. I've been doing martial arts. I've done all sorts. Like I was in softball and all different things. But yeah, the cheerleading, and it was funny because I got it because I was actually making fun of the cheerleaders. Like during the audition, I was kind of like, oh, okay. And I was like, huh, you know, just like the cheerleaders did. And then I ended up like looking at the sign, you know, like the little paper you look to see if your name's on there. And I was on there for co-captain. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? But I was totally just acting. I was acting like a cheerleader, and they totally bought it. It was the worst.
That is how I got my first job DJing at a strip club. I don't know if you know. I went in there and they were like, "Can you spin records?" I'm like, "Sure."
You
So
have the voice for that.
I did. I was like, "Come to the stage right now. It's Stormy. That's right, Stormy. She's on fire. Somebody call the fire department right now. Come on and give Stormy somebody." And they were like, "Oh my God, you're like God." And I'm like, I was kidding. I was totally joking, right? Like I don't normally talk like that. And they were like, "You got the job if you want it. How much does it pay? $3 an hour." And the
to
girls,
be a DJ?
yeah, and the girls will tip you out at the end of the night. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, the crackheads will tip me out. Sure, they will." I was like, "No,
What
thanks."
type of club was this? Was this upscale?
Full nude. Yeah, no, it was a little skanky hole in the wall, and I saw an ad, and I was in between jobs. I'm like, oh, DJ would be fun, you know?
Were there any hole in the walls there?
This is right around the corner, actually. Right? It's right down the
really?
street. Yeah, dude. We got plenty of holes in the wall crap strip clubs around here with Stormy coming to the stage. Or not Stormy, that's right, Stormy.
I don't know. I don't like going to nudie bars. I feel sad. I'm like a nice guy where I'm like, what happened in your life where your tits are on my face?
You know what? I'm with you because when I was younger, I used to like to go.
Yeah.
But I now when I'm older, I feel uncomfortable. I want to give them a tip, but I don't want to get too close because I just feel like I'm invading their space, even though that's what they do. And the last time I went to a club, I got a lap dance from the club owner. I was doing a radio spot there. What's that?
The club owner was a girl?
Oh, I thought you meant the stripper. Yeah, the stripper was a girl. Yeah.
You said you got a lap dance from the club owner.
I was about to ask you that too. Was it a guy or girl? I was like, which way do you swing, dude?
Yeah, no, we got the special VIP treatment. All the management staff, they got the cooks out. They gave me a lap dance. It was great. No, but the owner's like, let me get you a lap dance. He got a girl, took me in the back, and she started dancing. And she's like, you know, my sister has leukemia. That's the first thing she said to me. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is not working for me. Like, what an awful thing to say.
That is pretty bad, dude.
It was awful. She's like trying to be sexy. Yeah, she has a couple months to live, so I'm trying to get money. And I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah,
okay.
Nothing makes me hard like hearing that.
No.
Oh boy, here's some more money for
No,
you.
that was a midday girl. She was the midday shift.
Oh, midday girls are the best. Those are the ones that
B string, C string.
I don't know. When you go there during the midday, that vibe is depressing. At least the ones at night almost seem like they love their life and they're embracing it. The midday girls they're just watching Sports Center with you dancing. It's just
For somebody who's so uncomfortable at strip clubs, it sounds like you got the whole thing down pat.
I lived in Cleveland for 5 months. All there is snow, drinking, and clubs.
Nice.
So.
Now, are they full nude up there? Because here, the full nude ones, they're not allowed to drink.
No,
You're not allowed
they
to
were
drink
not
in the
full
bar,
nude.
right? You can have beer. I went to Mons because I went with some like dudes.
Mom's Venus?
Yeah, I went to Mons, and those girls, they love girls. When you go in and you're a girl at a strip club, all the girls will start coming up to you, and I was like, dude, you have no pants on. Like I was like, it was almost like the time we did the comedy at the nudist colony. I was just like, you have no
What
pants
was that
on.
like, doing comedy at a nudist place?
You did it there too, right? Like this was before Chris and I started working together. It was at Caliente. And I remember when I drove through the gate, this is like one of my first like paid shows.
Let me interrupt you. First of all, it's not a nudist colony. Nobody calls it a colony anymore. It's not. You make it sound like a leper colony. It's a nudist resort. When you say
Keep
colony,
it classy. You're keeping it classy, dude.
All right, sorry. So when I first went to the nudist resort, this was one of my first. This was one of my first booked gigs. I go through the gate, right? And I was just thinking, for some reason, I was just thinking nudist, da da da. I go in. The first thing I see is this really fat lady, like riding a bike, naked, with just like white tennis shoes and white those white tennis sock things. And I pulled over and just burst out crying. Because I did not realize, like, in my head, I was like, oh, my God, I did not think about what kind of people might want to be naked. Like, I just thought only attractive people would want to be.
So there weren't good jingle jangles there.
No, well, she had some booby
Were they,
bazunga, yeah.
Going to the ground? Were they slouching?
The whole thing. Her whole body, her stomach was hanging over her stomach. It was very, and she had so many stomachs, like layers. And then I pull in, and I'm like, I'm going to have to cancel. Oh, my God. And then I see this old dude bending over to pick up his golf clubs. Same thing. Totally naked.
Nice
His balls, his jingle jangles were hanging nearly to the ground. And he had white tennis shoes. I don't know. They must have only white tennis shoes there and then white socks. And I was like, I thought I was going to cancel the gig, but I ended up taking my contacts out. And they kept requesting me back. I went back there like 5 times after that. Like, but every time I like made sure like I looked up at the sky until I knew that like I saw some like colors on their body. Like if I just saw like a nude or like a tan kind of thing, I'm like, I'm not looking down. I'm just gonna look up and pretend like I'm blind.
You should have embraced it. They would have given you money if you just got down and naked. Tiffany.
No, you can't. They won't let the comedians get naked. But the thing is, you can't unsee things.
Because there's nothing more classier than a nudist colony.
Resort.
My bad. Colony, resort, club. It's all the same crap.
I actually was the first comic to perform at Caliente when they started doing comedy there. And I went back like 3 or 4 times. And the last time I went back there, I told the owner, I said, I'm going to finish my set. I was closing the show. And on my last bit, I'm going to start to undress. And by the time I finish the bit, I want to be completely naked. I don't want to walk off stage. I don't ever want to mention it. Don't want to talk about it. I just want to do it. He was like, don't you dare do that. No. Like he was adamant. He's like, don't do that. Well, and he goes, because we represent, we're like contractors. We're not part of the resort. You're not a guest at the resort. And he's like, you can't do that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I
Everybody
love
else
how
is naked.
having your jingle out has so many like rules.
I got more like just a jingle. There's no really jangle there.
So besides that, where else have you performed that's been bizarre? The ghetto, a factory.
I've done a swinger show. Have you done a swinger show? Oh God, I did a swinger show. Now that, because afterwards everyone like comes up, especially when you're a girl.
No pun intended.
When you're a girl, everyone comes up to you after the show and they're like, hey, so you can come back. Like if you think getting hit on at a regular show happens, a swinger show is scary. But they laugh at everything. They laugh at, I mean, they're really like the nudist colony too. Those kinds of people have the best sense of humor like in the world.
They're getting laid 24/7. They're happy.
Yeah, that's true. They're just happy. That's what they're doing. Like one person, oh my God, one show, someone was giving their person a hand job under the table. I swear, I was like, what?
Were there any mouth hugs?
No, nothing like that was happening, but
I don't think I've ever. Jesus, you really?
all this is Larry Greenbaum, by the way. Like the courtesy of Larry Greenbaum. I'm like, dude, I can't unsee things. You're traumatizing an innocent little girl here. Like, what's going on?
Okay, innocent my ass, but still, I've known you for a while. I've never heard this story. You actually did a swingers thing.
Yeah, I know. Me and him. See, that's why we don't get bored of each other, because we both have stories that last. Like we could ride in the car forever and never hit all of our stories. Yeah, swingers.
Unless we had to park, and then everything would come to a crashing halt.
Remember that one time I tried to park in Maryland? Like we saw like this mountain, and Chris was like, "Pull over! I want to take a picture of this mountain." And then, oh yeah, you say it. I shut down on this.
Dude, she pulled in on this overview little exit and hit the sidewalk, which was like 4 inches higher on the rental, and the front skirt of the car. When I got out, the front of the skirt was like hanging off, dude. It was hanging off. I had to literally go underneath and pop it back up in there. I'm like, holy, and bend out a ding in the thing. I'm like, Jesus, man, slow down.
He had to get out a red Sharpie when we got back and like color and stuff, and then we never got, like the rental place never called us about it. But oh my God, I shut down for like 30 minutes. And then though, that curb was so high that someone pulled in right beside us and did the same exact thing. So I stand by the argument that that curb was a little too ridiculously high, and that was a stunt curb, and that was ridiculous.
How is a curb too high?
Or
Explain.
let me say this: that may have happened, or I may have just witnessed two dumbass people in one spot who can't park in front of a curb.
It was an optical illusion curb.
Not for me, for you and the other jackass who ran into it.
But you were sitting right beside me, and you watched me pull in, and you didn't say, hey, watch out for that curb. That curb might be a little bit high. I didn't hear anything from the man in the car who's supposed to be smart about these things. I just drive.
Yeah, you're the man. You
I'm
need
not-
to know everything, dude.
No, I don't know everything, and I think what we have to do is install like a student brake on the other side for me, so I can brake for you when I realize
Probably
when I realize
should.
you'd have depth perception problems.
Are you very manly, dude?
I think, I don't know.
Okay, I need to answer this question. He is the most manly man, like, ever. Like, seriously? Like,
Make him define. What do you mean?
okay, he can fix...
Not you.
Okay, what?
Well, like, what does he do that's so manly? Like fixing things,
Okay.
lifting.
He can fix anything. Like, if something breaks... it's amazing what he does. Like, he'll go to Walmart and find like a little piece of something and just totally fix
You're
something.
like MacGyver.
It is. He is.
Well, you know where that comes from, Ryan?
Where?
Look, I'm 50, okay? And I'm poor. And so I can't afford to have people fix shit for me. I've got to do it myself. So you learn to fix stuff. Like when the dryer breaks, you can't go get another $400 or $500 dryer. You got to fix it.
And when you were a kid, you had to learn things on your own and now use this thing called Google because kids
Right.
my age just go, what's going on with my Xbox? I'll just look it up on YouTube.
Right. No, it's been a great tool for me. I didn't have that when I was. You're right. I had to go to the library. I had to go to Encyclopedia Britannica and look it up, and volume F, for messed up thing. It's not a matter of manly so much as it is about frugality.
He can fix cars. He can fix anything. And what else? I mean, you lift up stuff. I've seen you do all sorts of things. Oh my God. He like cut some tree off like the top of a house.
What
no,
are you,
I'm
Paul
telling
Bunyan?
You, he really is. He's a Renaissance man.
No, I have. Look, we rent a house, and you have to do maintenance around there. What do you live in an apartment?
Yeah, I live in an efficiency room, essentially.
So people come by and do all that stuff for you. You don't have to worry about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to do that. I have to fix the stuff.
I have seen him ride a skateboard and smoke a cigarette at the same time. Like, that is the most manly image, like, ever.
Dude, what's it like being as old as you and riding a skateboard, dude? That's pretty cool, man.
It's you know what it is? I can still skateboard at my age, but what I can't do is fall. That's the distinction.
Do you ever fall?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, not lately because I'm very careful. But I don't do anything crazy. But I'm not. No, I don't do tricks. I just like to ride, to cruise. I have a longboard and I have a couple of short pro decks that or trick decks. But
You seem like a dude who, even though you're getting older,
Mm-hmm.
you're not letting it get older. You know what I mean? You seem like a kid.
yeah, well, I don't know if I'm a kid, but but I don't shy away from stuff that younger people would do.
I'm the
for
same
sure.
way, man. I'm never going to get old. I'm going to be watching, like, let's say The Simpsons or, like, Family Guy when I'm, like, 70 years old.
Right on.
I
Yeah.
will not let
No,
that
I
get to me.
I still game. I'm active on Xbox.
Dude, that's awesome.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm 50, but I grew up with video games. So when people say to me, "Oh, what are you 50? You're still playing video games?" I'm like, yeah, it's been a part of my life since I'm 12.
Well, what did
13.
you have, like, Atari in that?
Well, when I was younger, it was first it was the Atari. Yeah, that was the first thing, and then we had what was the first Nintendo with the Mario Brothers.
NES.
Yeah, well, not even NES. It was like the original Nintendo, right? It was an NES, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, that was. Yes, NES, right? The gray one with the little
Yeah.
yeah.
It didn't have Duck Hunt.
It had Duck Hunt. Yeah, have we come a long way? Because now I play Battlefield, and that puts Duck Hunt to shame.
I know, it's weird. Even looking at games from 10 years ago, when you look at Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, man, like, especially if you play Madden or NBA, the graphics of Kobe Bryant in 03 make him look like some awful cartoon character. And now you
Yeah.
look at it, and my mom would be like, what game is on? I'm like, no, I'm playing a game. Like, it's amazing how
Right.
fast the graphics have come.
Yeah, it's true.
Just overall in HD movies, it's amazing. Like, you'll look at a thing from like 06 and you're like, that looks old. Like anything, dude.
You know, so we were at Dulcet last night, and Gone in 60 Seconds was on the screens up top, and I was sitting in the lounge up there.
What is that, year 2000?
Yeah, I don't know, some piece of crap, John. You know what it is? It's Gone in 60 Seconds, better known as Robert Duvall's Death Throw. That's what it is.
1998.
Yeah, and Duvall was in it, and I was like, dude, you were in The Godfather. What the hell are you doing with your career?
Yes, it has a nice approval rating of 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But I'm watching the movie, and it's on two different screens. One is the high-def screen, and one is just the normal plasma screen, right? Which I'm used to the normal plasma. I'm looking at the HD, and my first reaction was, wow, that looks really clear. And then it got really hard to watch. Like, everything seemed like surreal or like almost too real to be real. And then I found myself looking at the other screen to compare them. I thought, you know what? I like the old way better. I got the new way right there, and I don't know that I like that so much. I think I'll go back to the old way.
I kind of like the old graphics, like in a movie like Speed or Die Hard, or the old Mission Impossible movies were awful, but the new ones are better. You know what I mean? I'm into action movies. I'm into shows like The Wire, The Wire, Sopranos, anything on HBO. I'm very manly, even though I was blessed with no coordination. I can't fix anything. I can't play a sport, but when it comes to what I like, when it comes to entertainment, I'm very manly. Like, I despise the horrors of the Kardashians. Like, I made that rule with my girlfriend. I'm like, we are never watching that at my house.
Your wife watches the Kardashians, doesn't she?
Why do women get into it, Tiffany? Explain to me.
I do not watch the Kardashians like you said, I'm kind of like a dude in a lot of ways.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people are just kind of, maybe they're bored with their own lives and they just need to like live vicariously through like this family, or maybe they just think this family's interesting. I don't know.
I'll take a stab at it from a male perspective, at least what I can tell. I think there are two reasons why. Number one, they have money and they don't have to work, really. And so I think people like to be a voyeur and watch people that don't actually have to bust their ass for a living.
I'm so
They're just
jealous
consumers.
of them. All they had to do was open up their legs for a one-hit wonder R&B singer, and then look at them. They got $100 million.
Yeah.
Plus, they're lucky because their dad got OJ off for murder. So there you go.
I think it's the watching rich people spend money. And then the other one is just the drama that happens. There's always some kind of stupid drama. And women love drama.
I'm the opposite, though. I don't want to watch rich people buy things because
Right.
I want to be the rich people buying things. I don't want to watch these talentless whores buying shoes in a new Mercedes on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah,
It pisses me off.
It's really hard
Can
for
you
me
tell?
to care about someone that I don't know. You know what I mean? So, like, you're asking me with these reality shows in general. I just feel like you're asking me
And
to care about people that I've never met.
It's
Why would I?
obviously scripted. It
Yeah.
makes shows like 2.5 Men look like it was written well. Like, they have the worst scripts and the worst acting. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh my God, Kris Kardashian's mad at Kim. I've watched 5 minutes of it. I swear to God, I probably lost 10 points off the IQ. It is so mind-numbingly fucking awful.
It's so true. Remember, didn't we have one of the people at a show that we did at the St. Pete Coconut? She was a writer for the Kardashians, remember? And she was like, I mean, I feel like she was really like disappointed in her soul. Like,
Well, and she told me, because she's like, well, do you watch the show? I said, my wife watches the show. And she's like, oh, you don't watch? I said, yeah, I watched a couple episodes. And then I saw this one episode where Chloe decided to go get coffee late at night on a moped. It was a brand new moped. She took the moped out. The coffee place was closed. On the way back, the moped like broke down for some reason.
Ooh, exciting drama.
Well, here's the thing that just did it for me. Put my tits in. I was like, I'm done with this bitch. She just got off the moped and left it there and said, I'm going home. I don't need that anymore.
What?
She left like a $5,000 moped on the
Whatever,
side of the
I'll
road.
get a new one tomorrow.
Dude, I was like, all right, I'm done with you people. Like, that's ridiculous. Like,
Well, what I love, too, is when they're arguing and then they, like, cross their legs and then they begin using their cell phones and they hold it up right to the camera. Like, look at my iPhone 6S. Like, by no way is that them trying to get attention or a product placement. Like, there's so much product placement in it I can notice. Look at us drinking our Sobe water. We're so classy.
you have watched this a lot. You watch it every week, don't you? Because I swear, you
No,
know a
no,
lot
no,
about
listen,
it. Just
listen,
admit it, Ryan.
listen,
It's okay.
listen.
What you do to get
We-
laid is your own business.
No, what happened was when I was on vacation with, I watched like 10 minutes of it and I was able to dissect the whole show. It's what I remember. Plus, I'm making things up. I'm pretty sure they hold it up to the camera. I just remember them holding up all these products.
We're just buying it too. We're like, that sounds right. He's watching.
Exactly.
He's an expert.
Yeah, Ryan's like, these are the things that I assume happen on the show. I'm not really sure. I saw a couple stills at one time.
Well, when you watch 5 minutes, you've seen every second of it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems hard to keep up with those Kardashians, to be honest. They're always doing something, right? I feel like they're constantly like popping out kids. There's more Kardashians
Speaking of
after
this,
another.
too, ridiculous. fucking Clinton was hanging out with Britney Spears today, which is fine. But then she brought Kendall Jenner. It's like, what are you doing? I'm like, are you trying to get the female vote, you imbecile? Like, what are you doing?
I think Kendall would be my favorite Kardashian. Not
Mine's
knowing
Robert, just because he's a dude who's just fat. I love it. I love it. Kind of like how girls used to be able to relate to Chloe when she was chubby and more thick, but now that she's skinny, she's just like the rest of the broads.
She's skinny?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She lost all this weight.
I don't know what these people do. I don't keep up with them. I don't.
Yeah, I don't watch the reality shows much anymore. I remember, like, when I used to get into it, it was like the first, like, Real World, the second season Real World, like old Real World, and that was about it. And now, if I'm going to do reality television, it's going to be like Survivor or stuff. You know, we're competition.
When I was in high school, the thing to watch was Jersey Shore, and we would get into my friend's basement, and all 10 of us dudes would watch it.
Dude, that's the worst show on the planet. Are you serious right now? Hold on. You're giving the Kardashians shit, and you used to have Jersey Shore parties, you wackadoo. Are you kidding
awesome.
me? Holy
Love
crap.
that
Did
show.
you do your little tan and laundry crap?
GTL, dude? Hell yeah, man. I didn't.
I'm going to throw this box at you right
I'm from
now.
the Midwest. The sun was never out.
We're leaving. Let's go, Chris. Let's go. No, okay.
No, it was funny because it was different than them because they had their catchphrases and they would get into fights. With the Kardashians, they're on their couch arguing.
Is it?
So that's the difference for you. There has to be a fight at some point and a
there's
nickname.
this mushroom, which probably has sperm all over the walls.
Isn't it like because I remember moving back after I moved back from England, everyone was dressed up like with like their clothes on, and it was the Situation and Snooki, and everyone. And I was like, "Who are you?" Like everyone was dressed like Snooki in the Situation, and I'm like, "I don't know what you're saying, like right now, like what's happening." And then they explained to me about the Jersey Shore, and I'm like, "That sounds terrible."
And I love every other place in the world has one. There's the Sydney Shore, there's the Bangkok Shore, or whatever it be over there. Every single country has their own version. Like they copy America.
Do they have the same like characters on the show? Like instead of Snooki, it's like Bucky, something like that.
They all have the same thing. It's like the dumb girl
instead of the
girl.
Instead of the Situation, we have the problem. The problems here. I mean, what is that? That's awful. Bangkok Shore right now.
Weren't his abs the Situation? Like that's what it was.
They all had abs.
He's like this. My abs are the situation. That was the thing. I don't know. I never watched an episode. I swear. I just remember them being orange. They were all orange, right? Like Trump. Like they all are descendants of Trump. Like I
actually
don't know.
felt bad for the whole shore. I remember they were losing business because people were embarrassed by them, and there was a petition to get them off. Like that show made people from New Jersey, and it made that whole ethnicity look awful. It made Italians and it made the Northeast look awful.
And yet The Sopranos lifted Jersey. I don't understand.
I know
it's a show about murder and adultery and all this stuff. But yeah, that's accurate. But Jersey Shore, no, nobody
People
here like
having
that.
fun and having sex. Fuck that.
Yeah,
the murder.
No, yeah, we're not like
Good
that.
Good job, Tony.
You classless bums.
I never thought of that. They all get mad when they're there, but then when you have the Sopranos, it's like that is a bunch of virtues and moral. Killing people and cheating on your wife.
It's a matter of production. If the production's good, we'll embrace it. If the production is shitty, then it's not really a good depiction of our tribe.
Then they have a fat ass governor that tried to run for president, didn't work.
Christie. That guy takes so much shit for his weight, dude. I feel bad for him. I
felt bad. There was one pic of him at a Mets game, and it looked like he had a camel toe. It legit. I was like, oh my God. He looked so sad too because he just knows he looks awful in the baseball outfit.
Well, you're a millennial. The election's coming up, Ryan. Which way do you lean? Are you leaning?
I
left
lean on
or
the
right
left side because I hate how they're against like abortion and weed and gay marriage. But I hate Bernie Sanders because I think he's crazy, and I think Clinton is a see you next Tuesday.
Yeah,
so
you've
I might not
established that
vote.
you don't like Hillary.
I wish Biden was running. At least somebody that's decent.
Why do you like Biden so much?
Just because I like Obama. I don't know.
No.
I hate getting into these arguments, but I
I'm
think
not arguing. I'm just
Obama
curious.
is the backup point guard in the NBA who doesn't always win you games. He loses you games sometimes, but he's good enough where he keeps everything together.
That's consistent.
He's like the backup quarterback in the NFL, like a Matt Castle that goes from team to team and just does enough. Like, he's not awful, but he's not going to be in a Hall of Fame. He's good. That's how I describe Obama.
Listen, I have voted for Obama the second time, and I don't typically get into politics, but I just know, like, this election is even bigger than the last one. This is going to really – it's going to really –
If Trump wins the movie Idiocracy, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Idiocracy will come to life.
Yeah,
like, that is legit. I would rather have President Camacho Mountain Dew than him.
Get your ass up here, not sure.
He's going to fix his country. I love that movie.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr. Okay.
I was watching it last week. It's not even funny anymore. When I saw it like 10 years ago, I thought it was great.
No, it's more like a documentary now.
Dude, it's a legit documentary. Like, what am I watching? It's scary.
Yeah, you watch it the second time. You watch it now, and you're like, Michael Moore produced this? I had no idea.
I know, and like, it's Florida. Like,
okay, here's the thing.
bad.
Trump's not going to get the nomination. It's not going to happen because he's crazy, and that's obvious.
Who is?
And even
Rubio?
No, Trump. He will not get the nomination. Rubio or Cruz, one of those two guys. Rubio's making a run for it, and I don't like either of them. I'm more on the other side. And as far as the Democrats go, Hillary will get the nomination. I'm not really on her side. I prefer Bernie, but I know that nothing Bernie is.
But what about Bernie being a communist, or not a communist, a socialist?
Yeah, you know, the conservatives throw the term socialist around, but if you look at the sort of the mechanics of our country, we already live in a partly socialist society. There are programs for the poor and the needy, and those are social programs. So we have a bit of socialism. When people say socialist, they mean like Russia socialism and communism, and that's a bit different. There's no tyranny happening with Bernie Sanders. He's not gonna, he's not Mussolini. So people are freaking out.
I just think once Obama's gone, we're going to come to terms with the fact that he was a decent president. He gets a lot of hate because he's African-American, and just the whole way he was brought in with the swagger. But I think we're going to not know what we had until it's gone.
Dude,
I really believe
Obama is going to be the first president to visit Cuba in 47 years. If that doesn't say something about how he deals with people that are not with us and how he bridges those gaps, I don't know what does. First time in 47 years.
He may not be the best president, but what I like about Obama is he acts like he cares about us, and he had his whole thing of like change and trying to help America. Everybody running now, maybe besides Bernie, they seem like they want to be president for the power trip, and they don't care about any of us. That's what I don't like about this election is there's no humble guy or girl that you're like, that's the everyday guy. Because Obama was poor. He had to earn it. He didn't know his dad. Fucking Rubio's like, my parents were immigrants. Good for you. We've heard that 100 times. Clinton's from money. Ted Cruz is a piece of shit. Fuck this election. That's my analysis. There you go. That's Hoppe on MSNBC.
and now for the stocks.
Dude, if I were to invest money in some company, I would lose so much money, dude. I feel like I would go in the worst company possible. My life is Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm as a 22-year-old podcaster. That's what I am.
22-year-old podcaster, Larry David.
I live quite the life.
Listen, I listen to Calta. I love his show, and I've lived in this area for years, so I know all the players in the radio thing. Not personally, but I've listened to them. And they do give you a lot of grief, dude. They really ride you pretty hard. I realize that at the end of the day, it's for entertainment, and I cannot thank him and Drew Garabo and everybody else for their support.
Right, and they're molding you. One day you will be them.
One
day you will be them.
I want to be at their level, but I want to do my own thing. I look up to what Calta and the Bone does, Opie, and when it was Opie and Anthony, Opie and Jim, Howard. I've been listening to a lot of Howard lately. Did you ever listen to him?
Yeah. Definitely.
Dude, it's not my favorite show at times, but man.
He knows what he's doing.
He's fun to listen to, just talk about nothing. He was talking about getting a cat with Beth, and it was fun to listen to.
Yeah.
That dude has talent. He should be called the greatest of all time. And when he retires, if there's any radio classes or classes for broadcast, they need to play some of his best work and say, this is how you're edgy, this is how you're original. You know what I mean?
Right, sure. I think this with this station turned over to the talk format, it seems to be doing very well. And I feel like the show's doing really well. So I know they got some money coming. So my question to you is, why does this seat stink so much? What is on this seat behind me? This seat reeks of, I don't even know what it is. I thought it was ass, but it's not ass. Let me just say it. I've kept myself quiet for 40 minutes, dude. And you brought that seat from over there, and I don't know who died in this chair.
I swear to
smell
God,
this?
yeah, dude, I thought it was you. Like, I had to be a little honest. Like, I was like, God, Chris, like, what's happening? Like, did McDonald's hit you hard? Like,
These
what?
rooms smell bad.
I have shifted my ass like 8 times going, am I just on the, like I have a leak in my cheek? What the fuck is happening?
And to be honest, I was like, is it me? Like, I don't remember having any problems, but you never know. When you get older, things just kind of, like, start falling out.
I don't understand what this. Here's the thing, though. I'm 50 and I've smelled a lot of stuff, dude, and I can identify most smells. No, you know,
I thought it was maybe your jingly janglies. I don't know what's happening.
no, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a food product
Wait.
or if it's like body fluids or what the hell's happening. It's this goddamn chair. I'm telling you,
It's totally you. Come here.
dude. This chair is awful. It's pretty
I
comfortable.
just smelled the chair, and then I just smelled Chris's butt, and I have to say it's definitely the chair. Just in case anyone was on the edge of their seats wondering.
You know what? Now I know what it smells like. It smells like it was in a flood, and it was left in a basement wet for a month or two. That's what it smells like. Jesus Christ, man! You could spray some Febreze up in this bitch.
Well, I use these rooms after hours, so I'm honored they let me use it. But yeah, I mean, it does smell times.
When you're not using them, what do they got? What do they got? Animals in here? What's happening? It's like a petting zoo.
This is where they actually keep the literal cow head. This is where a literal cow head is kept.
I'm not gonna be able to get the smell out of my clothes, dude. This
You're
is like,
gonna
it's
go
like I've been in
home, and your wife's gonna be like, "Where the fuck were you?"
Yeah, she's gonna be like, "Oh, were you in a fire?" No, I wasn't in a fire.
The best part is you guys are supposed to go to the movies like right after this to go see Deadpool. You're gonna be at the movie theater. You're gonna be that guy that like smells. You're gonna carry it. They're gonna be like, you're like the reason people don't want to go to the cinema anymore. Is gonna be.
I am taking a shower, dude, in the parking lot. I'm not even waiting to go home. This is awful. I think my money's ruined in my pocket. I really think my money's ruined. Doesn't smell like money anymore. How do you get the smell of money? You sit in this nasty ass chair and it doesn't even smell like money anymore.
Oh my God! I was wondering what the smell was. It's you.
It's this goddamn chair.
I was sitting here pretty much like the background noise. You know, sometimes you have like lots of thoughts happening in your head, and one thought constantly this whole time has been like, "What's that smell? Is it Chris?" Like the whole time. Like I've been listening to the conversations, but just in the back of my brain's been like, "What's that smell, Tiffany? What do you think that smell is? You should go check that out. What's going on over there? What's that smell? Is it Chris? What's going on?" And like all the choices that were happening.
I'm ruined, dude.
Dude, I have not laughed this hard in a while.
What the hell, dude? Look, if you want us to do stunts, just say so, bro. You don't have to put a gag chair in here. What the hell?
I'm not one of those shock jocks that's gonna like tase you and make you smell like shoes or something.
Rotten eggs. This is awful. It's like a jock strap. It smells like a jock strap.
It'd be a good place to have a porno, like some
No.
kinky smell.
That smell will ruin the mood, dude. It'll totally ruin the mood. Anybody gets excited with this smell, they got something wrong in your head.
Oh my God! So what do you guys have coming up besides getting the hell out of this smelly room?
I'm gonna stand right now. I'm not even gonna sit.
Well, we have quite a few things coming up. Oh my God! So.
Oh my God! I have not laughed this.
I think let's.
If I hadn't just been sitting in this chair, I'd ask you to smell it because it's all.
No, come smell it. Come on,
No.
come smell it.
All right, I'm gonna smell it while you do your plugs.
All right, I'm gonna tell you. All right, so I'll give you the next few weeks coming up. Next Saturday, February 27th, we'll be smelling it. We're at our beach in Hernando Beach, and then March 10th to 12th. We're in other places, but March. Let's skip forward to when we're around Pinellas and Hillsborough. We're going to be March 10th to 12th at Snappers, and Ron White might actually be making an appearance that weekend.
If I want to get him on this show, I probably shouldn't use this room.
yeah, exactly. And then March 18th, we're going to be at the Tampa Picture Show. They are still dealing with this chair. This is like a Febreze commercial waiting to happen. You guys should have an experiment with this chair. Just
That's a good place for a stick up.
Oh my God, I'm dying. Oh God. I've laughed a lot in this show, but who would have thought a smelly chair would make me laugh hard?
which comedian that you interviewed do you think that's from? Because it's got to be from one of them. Like if you had to guess. No,
Yeah, God, I hope that's not Jose. Amy Schumer did it.
that's an STD chair right there. Like.
You can
They
also
took it from the set of Jersey Shore.
Oh my God, dude! Yeah, from the basement of the set of Jersey Shore. You can also listen to our podcast, The Double Special Show. We're on YouTube live every Tuesday night at 8:30. We do the show. It's me, Tiffany Barbee, Jordan Lee, Crystal Hayes, Gorgeous. 2 hours. Callers from all over the world, Australia, England. So it's a lot of fun. We competed against you in the Best of the Bay, and we did not win. So thanks, Ryan.
Sorry
Good.
about
We
that.
congratulate you. We
I
congratulate
couldn't believe
you.
I won. I was
but
here
at the
for
same
like 2
time, we were
months.
like,
and
God damn it.
No, this is a pretty awesome show. I can see how you won. I was okay with it. Like, he was a little depressed, and like,
I'm sorry about that.
no kidding.
Don't be. We all do our podcasts, and we all hope that we're going to get recognition from them. But really, at the end of the day, I do it because I love to do it. I love talk radio. I love
the best.
I love it. And she's like, I don't get it. I'm like, I dig it. That's why we do a 2-hour show. I just love it. So
I like doing it. I just don't listen. I usually don't listen to talk radio. I listen to NPR and
Ooh,
things
look at
like
you,
that.
classy girl. Very intelligent. Pass the tea and crackers. Let's watch Downton Abbey
I love
tonight.
Science Friday. That's my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. But
You seem like someone that would listen to NPR and then go to work and be like, did you hear what they were talking about today?
if only we had those kinds of jobs. See, I teach martial arts and do stand-up comedy for a living. Those are like my things. I don't have anyone to discuss NPR with necessarily, except for Chris. Like, Chris and I will talk about it on our road trips. We'll be like, did you hear that episode the other day? It was amazing.
I feel like you're sort of her mentor. You know what I mean?
He is. I've learned so much from watching him. Like, we've been on the road together for like a year. You've been doing stand-up comedy, since 1989? I just started about 6 years ago, and I have learned so much in the past year. Like, my stand-up comedy has developed so much because of you. Like, I'm getting really good at crowd work.
And Ryan Adams spoke very highly of you from the Johnny B show on the Bone.
Awesome.
They said nothing but great things about you guys.
Good. Yeah, I love those guys.
Yeah, Tiffany, has also helped our podcast. When I had started the podcast, it was me and another guy, and we needed that female element in there, so we brought Tiffany in. She's just a unique girl, and she's not one of these like empowered, screw men sort of girls. She's just cute and neurotic and in her own way. But she's also helped me. I mean, I've had a full-time job for the past 20 years. I've maintained the comedy career, but never really went after it. Now she's helped me to do that. So it goes both ways. We're helping each other.
And the ones that are older, the comics that are older are the ones that are better because they have more life experience. A lot of these comics my age, Pete Davidson's the exception because he acts like he's 29 years old when he does comedy. But a lot of the comics now are trying to go for the punchlines, and they're trying to be like Bill Burr. So I feel like the ones that are more experienced are the ones to watch out for. So
yeah, no, I agree because like you have so many stories and stuff. And I think the older you get, the more stories you have. Like, I write new jokes. I think almost every week something happens where it pops up. But then you hear these younger guys telling jokes, and they go for the obvious, like, hey, poop, penises, whatnot, and I never talk about my vagina once during my act.
Or they have to talk about all the girls they've banged.
Right. Yeah, that's because that's their life experience. I mean, they haven't been married. It
might be their
had
life
kids.
Experience, or they might just be lying their ass off.
True.
Yeah, I banged this chick last weekend.
Well, it was interesting. I was working with a guy. He was on a show that I was on. He's an open micer now, and he did a bit about, first he said that he doesn't get women. Women don't get me, and I don't get women. I don't really date. And then like 3 breaths later, he said, well, I like to bang married chicks. And I'm like, well, what is it? Do you not get women, or are you banging married chicks?
That's called lying.
Exactly. And when he did the married chick thing, he tried to do it, and it didn't go off. And so I asked him after the show, because he's like, oh, he's all depressed. I was like, dude, do you bang married chicks? He's like, well, no. I'm like, then why are you talking about it? Why are you trying to even think about it?
Open mics can be painful.
But I'm like, if you didn't do it, then don't talk about it. Talk
Yeah.
about stuff that's true to you. The truth, there's truth in comedy, and that's what people identify with. When you talk about something, when I get on stage and I like just now with the seat, that when that comes out, it's funny because it's real and it's in the moment. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about, hey, I used to breed dinosaurs. You know what I mean? Like, did you? Yeah, sure. Okay, they know right away. They know right away that you're full of crap, and so they're like, okay, it's a fake story. So yeah, what's the joke? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I like about you guys is you guys are very real and very just raw. Like, you don't care what people think, and you're
Right.
not hacks. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I think we're both naturally funny, but you're right about the open mics thing. That I've told you some open mic stories. Like, we used to go to, not you and me, because obviously we're from a different generation starting. But back when I used to do open mics like 3 years ago or however many years ago, God, it was just painful. And I used to do open mics with Joe Riga and all those guys. Joe
yeah,
Riga.
yeah.
And I remember there'd be people. We were actually terrible to these people because people would get up on the stage And if there was no laughter, like Joe had an app on his phone that would like make like cricket sounds.
Yeah, I've heard
or
of
like
those.
a bump
Yeah,
kind of
I've
thing.
heard about that.
Oh my god! And we would die laughing in the back. Like sometimes, if someone told a joke and no one laughed, I go, and I still do this, even like at regular shows, like because sometimes you'll get terrible guest sets and no one will laugh, and you know they're waiting. I'll go, hey, and then everyone like in the audience will burst out laughing
And then
because
they
of that.
think it's the audience getting
Yeah.
the joke 4 seconds
And
later.
then they think they
crowd.
killed. They'll go on
Yeah.
Facebook later and be like, killed tonight at this open mic or this guest set. We're like, no, dude, that was just like watching someone get murdered up there. Like, you did not kill, you got murdered. Like,
Well, guys, keep up the good work because we know going to your shows, you don't need an app to bring in the fake laughter. You guys are real, raw, and very genuine. I've had a lot of fun being on the show, and whenever you need me to tweet something out, I'm your guy. I will promote your work. This has been a lot of fun.
awesome. I appreciate that. Check out my website, tiffanycomedy.com, if we're allowed to plug ourselves.
Oh,
I don't know.
of course.
At Tiffany Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. Add me. I'll add you back. And if I don't, it's because I think you're like porn or something. And then you just got to let me know, hey, I'm not porn. And then I'll be like, oh, of course you're not. And then I'll add you.
Yeah, and dude, thank you so much for having us on.
No problem.
I didn't know how this was going to be, and you did a really good job. It was a
Thank
lot
you,
of fun,
sir.
dude. You can check me out on gorgeouscomedy.com, GORGES comedy.com.
You're gorgeous.
That's it. All my links are on there. Also, starting a Kickstarter account for a nice new clean chair for this jacked ass studio. So I'm going to put that up, and you can donate some money, and we'll get a new cushion or whatever.
Well, guys, keep up the good work, and I would love to have you guys on again when there's
Awesome.
new things to plug.
Great.
This has been Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.